And it looks like I'm live on all of my platforms that I can be live on for with as many devices as I have. And I want to talk about criticizing what it taught me, what to do about it if you're doing it in a way that doesn't serve you, because it doesn't, and like how I learned it from a horse and how I apply it in my business. You can't get what you criticize. I was thinking about this earlier while I was cleaning the barn, because I get a lot of my really good ideas. Who here gets really good ideas from hi, good morning? If you're on and you like to wave or post a comment, please do. We're going to be going live. We've been going live at around 7:30, between the 7:30 and 8 o'clock hour Eastern time. So you're definitely willing to come out. Yeah, send me some love, guys. Write me some questions, drop some comments. I'm happy to engage with this. Now, let me just dive right into the topic. I'm going to give you some really some great insights, but I also want to give you some deeper gold and how I learned it from the horse. And because it's such an abstract concept to think that a horse could teach you about your business. A horse could help you learn something about life. Like, we're kind of starting to get the idea, oh yeah, horse therapy. Oh, but how does that add to your bottom line? How does that add to your status, how you're perceived, how you're living your life? I mean, outside of just being around horses and just loving them, there are the handful of people sometimes that really are like, nah, horses aren't my thing. But it might be sharks or dolphins or turtles. I don't know. So, but everybody has that thing. And the reason why horses are so powerful with this stuff I'm getting ready to share with you. So stay with me, guys. Stay with me. These are not long. They're usually about 15 or 20 minutes tops. So stay with me for the next little bit, because I've got some gold I'm going to drop about this. It's such an important topic because it's how we choose our tribe. It's who we choose to engage with. It's how we express our boundaries. Like, this topic is super, super important because it puts you in perspective for why you don't have some of the stuff that you want. And so I'm going to give you an example. So, and this is a story that that I've heard, I don't know what, at one of my many seminars. There's a woman, and she was in some kind of a group setting, a networking setting or whatever. And she saw another woman with a very expensive handbag. We won't say which one, but it was very expensive. And there's a lot of them out there. And there was even a show I was watching. It said like a hospital show, and the hospital's trying to raise money. And the woman has a Birkin. And the woman that has the money goes, is that a Birkin? $15,000, right? And the woman that's asking for money is like shamed now, but it was a gift, like feeling the need to explain herself for having an expensive bag while also asking for donations for her organization, right? And that's a TV show. But the woman in the group that was criticizing the expensive bag, she was like, "Can you believe that? Look how haughty, look how hoity-toity, highfalutin she is to have that bag." What did she just do? What did that person just do in that moment? She demonized the things that she wants. Because if you go to any, Tony Robbins says a really cool thing at Business Mastery, where he goes around the group and he goes, who here has a very expensive bag? Usually it's like a Louis Vuitton bag, so he can make an example about like the having margin in your business and etc. So you get somebody with like a Fendi or Louis Vuitton or Salvatore, whatever designer bag, and he dips up and he goes, how much did this cost? Like, a lot. How much did it cost to make? Not a lot. Huge margin. Like, this is ridiculous. I have a bag. Oh, and then he picks a lady with a bag that is very inexpensive. And he just shares like the difference in values, right? And the women with not to say that if you have an expensive bag, it's, that's not the point of this. Stay in the car. But he says, why did you buy this bag? And here's where the rubber meets the pavement, because then no pun intended, he picks on the guys when it comes to like their cars or something like a little more masculine, right? So the woman that has the expensive bag, a lot of times says, well, I feel accomplished. This makes me feel like as if I made it, right? So it's not about the bag. It's about what the bag represents to that individual. And if you're looking for abundance, if you're looking for an opportunity to experience wealth and have a mindset of wealth, then if you're criticizing it, You ain't gonna get it. That's just the bottom line, bare minimum. If you're criticizing what you want, you will not get it. If you're criticizing your boss, you will never be a boss. If you're criticizing people that are doing better than you, or trying to tear people down that are doing better than you, or even questioning why they're doing better than you, or comparing yourself to the fact that they're doing better than you're sabotaging your own success. You're sabotaging your own success. And a lot of times it's because you're seeing something in them that reflects back and hits your baggage. Let me say that again. When you're criticizing someone and saying, oh, they're hoity-toity, they're whatever you're saying to them about what they have that's abundant, that you don't have, that you wish you had, but you don't understand why you don't have it. And gosh, what a bitch that she has it and you don't. The minute you do that, you put yourself in a position to have separation from that. So put that in perspective for a moment. Put that in perspective in a place where you can say, how can I release the judgment or the ideology or the belief I have around someone? I mean, I was reading somewhere where this guy in Dubai has like a $9 million watch, right? $9 million timepiece, right? So, and I'm sitting there thinking, man, I thought I spent a lot of my Apple Watch getting the extra features, you know? So it's all about perspective and what you desire, not the materialistic manifestation of that desire. Does that make sense? And here's how it helped my business. I stopped criticizing those that I wanted to help. And that put me, because who wants help? Like if you're lifting a big chest of drawers and you're a little tiny person like me, and you have two giant gorilla sons that could easily lift it up and help you without you bruising your arm or something, yeah, you're going to want help, right? But if you're criticizing people, or if someone is criticizing you, you're not going to be able to help them. So there's some pieces around this, because we don't do things because we just want stuff for ourselves. We want to share things. And if you're criticizing what you want, or you're criticizing or judging what you want to help, you will not influence anyone. You will be, it's very challenging to influence someone if you're criticizing or judging them. And if you're judging them, you're in a negative way, look at it. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get that level of abundance by saying, ugh, I can't believe her. Look at, why does she have 3 cars? She doesn't need 3 cars. You just came from scarcity. You just judged someone from a space of scarcity. And if you want to live in abundance, then the release of the criticism and the release of the judgment of others that live in abundance with a different value system than you, that doesn't mean you have to agree with them or go, oh yeah, I want a Louis Vuitton bag too. Or, oh yeah, I want a $9 million watch. Nah, there's a David Yurman ring that I saw, and he's a jewelry designer, very famous designer. And there's a ring that I saw in Neiman Marcus in the Millennium Mall in Orlando, right after, about 10 years ago, right after my divorce. And it was about, I think the ring at the time was around $2,500. And I said to myself, you know what? When I can walk in here and buy that ring and not even think twice, I'll know I'm in good shape. Well, that happened in like 6 months, right? So, but what that ring meant to me, and if I saw someone with a ring like that, and I was like, oh, I don't have that. What did they do to get it? And what, if I'm criticizing them, and not just criticizing the fact that they made a choice to buy something different than I would have purchased, like a ring or a shoes or something material, because all you're doing is comparing your value system to someone else's. And if there's a difference in value, you're going to have a harder time influencing them, especially if that value difference comes across as judgment or criticism. So how does this help me in my business? Well, obviously I can come from I can relax the ego, just chill the ego out. And then did I learn it from my horses? I was judging Dante all the time. And this goes way beyond just your abundance. I was judging Dante because he wanted to go left and I wanted to go right. I was judging him because Oh my God, what? Can you just not today? Can you just please not today? Can you just back into your stall? Can you just? And I was judging every single thing about him in the beginning for a long time. I've had Dante, he's in my stories right now. He's the brave, he's brave and coming up by the house. But I've had him for 18 years. And the first probably half of my life with him, he drove me bananas. He was very dangerous. He was in the beginning. He would like pick me up with his teeth and throw me on the ground. It was really a challenging horse to work with. And so I was like, man, this sucks. So when your value systems clash and you want to either have an impact or an influence or aspire to, there's anything you want, then you're going to have to find some kind of alignment and look for the good. He would, oh my God, you guys, I could tell you so many stories. One day I was out and I was riding him and I was on in a saddle riding my horse and he had a bit in his mouth, which I don't always do, and he would take the reins and pull his head down and pull him out of my hands. And then he would take his head and then fling him over to the other side. And so now the reins are all on one side and I have no control of the horse and he takes off running back to the barn. Smart, right? So instead of going, oh my God, I have a freaking brilliant horse. Look how unbelievably clever this guy is. Wow. Who do I need to be to influence that? Right? Which is what helped me create my business programs. And we're launching some new offerings this fall for small businesses and groups that are entrepreneurs and professionals to experience what I learned from horses over the last 20 years that has helped me in my business, my relationships, my interpersonal interactions, and how to understand and discover who I am so I know how to adapt. If you don't know where you are and you're dealing with somebody that's over somewhere else and you won't even know how to adapt or how to show up in a way that doesn't come across as I am very singular. I am very one-dimensional. When you don't know who you are, you have no dimension. When you know who you are, but you don't know others, you have one dimension. To become that multifaceted self, you need to be able to understand all the different ways people show up. And it's not just, are you an extrovert or an introvert? Did you take the test and the quiz and the things and the stuff? It's deep, you guys. It's deep. And you can learn so much from having one experience with a horse that will totally shape. You get this BFO, this blinding flash of the obvious. And it hits you in a way that no other way can. Nope, no, not literally. It hits you like in a good way. Horses, we don't do that here. But look at it and look at, are you one-dimensional, multidimensional? Are you judgmental and criticizing subconsciously or unconsciously the things that you actually desire? You don't necessarily desire the expensive bag or the fancy whatever, but you desire to feel free. You desire to feel accomplished and abundant and proud of yourself and have others love and care about, support you, and be proud of you as well. You want those things. We all do in one way or one form or another, in whatever level or hierarchy. But those things help us feel the way we want to feel: joy and pleasure and fun and enlightened, serene, whatever it is for you. But if you're criticizing, you're never going to get it. Never going to get it. Never going to get it. Right? So take a step back. And if you like, come and reach out and experience the horses with me. I've got some new offerings for small groups, and I'm still running my special till the end of the month for my weekend getaways. But I'm closing the door on those weekend getaways because they are sold out and I am booked for so far in advance. So if you want one, you have the chance between now at the end of the month. I'll put the link in the comments. And if you'd like to bring a group out, come out, experience the horses, or just connect with me and figure out a little bit more about what I do, just drop me a DM and we'll have an excellent, enlightening conversation. So I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you got a ton out of this. And as always, remember to believe in yourself. It will change your life. Have an amazing day. Bye.